To show you guys a quick hand here. It's on the 2+2 forums and small stakes no limit, and I'm using their hand replayer, which I haven't used before. It looks pretty cool. The animations on it are whatever, I guess. But so we're on the button and we min raise King 7, and the big blind calls. The flop is King 8-6 all clubs, and the big blind checks to us. So I think we have a few options here. We could continuation bet, and then the worry is obviously that we get check raised by a range against which we're racing or behind. In other words, he would check raise fairly effectively for value with hands like maybe King Jack or better, and then as a semi bluff he would either have a straight draw to go with this flush draw, or the ace high flush draw, or I guess more importantly is he's going to be able to rep clubs pretty effectively after a check raise. It's going to be tough for us to call down, especially if the turn's a club, and no one really wants to call the turn without a flush and then try to get to the river unimproved. So it's not going to be a good situation if you get check raised. So that is kind of a good indicator that you have a decent hand to check back. So the good thing about this hand is there aren't many overcards that can come on the turn to spoil our hand. The only thing we're worried about is a club, and even a club I don't think you necessarily have to be that worried about, just because your opponent's going to balance in bluffs with his value bets with flushes, and it's not like he's going to try to get two streets with like a 4 high flush if he has it. At least in my experience at 1-2, not many people do that, unless they're just a fish clicking buttons and they're really excited that they have a flush. So readless here though, I think the best play is going to be to check back, just because you can avoid being exploited, and we don't really have any reads on the big blind's check raising frequency. So instead of going into no man's land, we can play a little bit more carefully to start if you want to do that. Or I think you can do what the hero did in this hand and bet fold. So we bet and he min raises, which I think is pretty interesting. Typically at lower stakes, a min raise is a lot more characteristic of an extremely strong hand. So you guys can take that idea with you as well from this video, that if you want to bluff and you have a pretty clean image against a decent player who's capable of laying down a hand like this, a min raise isn't a bad size, because you get a really good price on your bluff. You can see he's risking 1350 to win 1575, so it doesn't have to work all that often. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a quick one. If you liked it, click the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys have any questions about it, there's a comment section below the video, and I will be happy to answer any questions you have. Take care, guys.